Hi everyone, welcome back to EducateTube.com. My name is Sipsky, your host. I just want to update you on my latest finding regarding the coronavirus projected cases. I've been tracking it for the last 7 or 8 days, and I came up with a formula, and last 2 days I show you a formula that was like, I think x equal to 240 e to the exponent 0.238 times d, but now it's changed to this formula here, as you can see on top. It's 550 times e to the exponent 0.19 times d. This formula is actually, as you can see, that over time my model is getting more accurate over time. It's because the data set that's coming in is providing a more realistic view of what's happening. And this actually formula, this actual formula is able to predict what's happening now. So let me show you the actual data that is provided by this formula here. So this formula is quite accurate because this prediction about the cases is then compared to the actual cases. For example, day 14, you have 7,783. The projected cases that's predicted is 7,863. And then if you look at day 15, you have 9,776, and projected was 9,500. And you look at day 16, 11,300, and you got 11,400 or 500 there. And then day 17, 14,500, and it's around 13,900, and so on. And if you go to day 20, today's projected actual number confirmed cases is 24,505, and this model, this mathematical formula is able to predict to be projected cases to be 24,586. Is pretty accurate. Almost 100 cases missed out, but plus and minus 100. So that's pretty accurate. So the formula, as the data is provided, the formula is getting more accurate over time. I hope that this is not the formula over time, because it is quite scary. By the time we reach day 30, we would have 164,000 cases, and I'm hoping that this formula would change over time. Hopefully this value here, the 0.19, will decrease to 0, because once you have 0, then you have the graph will peak, and it kind of peak off, right? It forms a steady line, and that means that there's no more confirmed cases, and that's what we want. We want that e to the exponent 0, okay? We don't want that 0.19 or 0.02 or whatever it is. We want that to be 0, so that e will then be equal to 1. And then of course this value over time will change and get bigger and bigger, but then at least it's linear instead of exponential. Okay, that's what we want. As of this moment, it looks like tomorrow, based on this formula, we'll have almost 30,000, and the following day almost 36,000. So I'm hoping that this will decrease over time, and that I'm wrong, because I don't want this formula to be correct. This helped me, when I look at this formula, it helped me to look at how China is managing their cases, their coronavirus cases, and it seems like they're doing a really good job. The problem is how quick are they able to control it, because even the best strategy, it seems like you can only do so much. I think China is the best in the world in terms of controlling the outbreak. I think we have a lot to learn from them, because if it comes to in our place, in our area, whether in Canada or US or anywhere in the world, we may not be ready. I think we have to have a plan set up. So in case if this happened, for example, China started with 45 cases, and then it went, as you can see here, right here, day 1, when it was tracked in terms of growth, right? Because it was 45 for 5 days, and all of a sudden that 45, starting with day 1, start to increase to 62 and so on, and it just accelerate over time. So just because we have only 4 or 5 cases in Canada, it doesn't mean that we should be patting ourselves in the back, because there's a number where it actually is double, and it looks misleading, because you have a number that's constant, and all of a sudden it just starts growing like crazy, like you can see here. And you know what worries me the most? If you go back to this data set, let me show you right now. Yeah, right here, okay? So if you look at the data from Johns Hopkins database that I've been using, you can see that Thailand has 25. Now, if they reach what China started with like 41, 42, something like that, this will also happen to Thailand as well, increasing if they don't control it quickly enough. Same thing with Singapore and Japan. Hong Kong, well, that too, right? The place is quite scary. And then if you look at, you know what's scary is if you look at a developing country like India with 3 cases, now they're clustered in a very large population of people, and if they don't have the resources for it, this will increase exponentially quite quickly, and that would be something that we have to be worried about. I just hope that the Indian government is able to come up with a very strict plan somehow to help control this. Otherwise, they're in big trouble. And now another worrisome is that Africa and South America, I know that it's good that they don't have any cases, but it may be that they did not report any cases at all. I just hope that somehow they're able to control the infected cases. If there's one, you do not want to wait until last minute and you find out that you have 40 cases and then you didn't know where the patient 0 started, and then you can't monitor fast enough or accurate enough, and that could be pretty dangerous. So I'm hoping that we learn from China in the way to control this infection, because so far China's data is showing that it's slowing down, and it's showing the natural progression of infection. But like I said, it looked like it's slowing down, but it's not slowing down fast enough to the point where you're only gonna have only 24, 25,000. It looks like it's gonna keep on climbing. It may even reach over 100,000 confirmed cases. So anyway, I'll keep you guys posted by maybe next Saturday, and I'll let you know whether this formula here has changed over time. I'm hoping that that exponent will reach 0, and then we can at least have a good sleep. But also we got to make sure that this containment coronavirus does not spread out to other countries as well, because he only needed, if you look at China, right, he only needed 40, 50 cases and it started to grow exponentially. All right, so God be with you, and keep your family safe. Make sure you have at least 2 or 3 weeks supply of food and water, and just like any emergency, whether it's a snowstorm or hurricane, we know what to do, and we should do also the same thing, be able to have enough food for a couple of weeks so that nobody panic over this. In fact, I don't believe that you should panic, and also I don't believe that you shouldn't care either. I think they're somewhere in the middle. You have to look at this logically, and this is what I've been doing. I've been tracking it. I am not too worried, but I'm also cautious as well. As you can see here, this shows me that China is controlling it, but the question is whether they can control fast enough, and whether the other country are ready for this type of infection, because I don't believe some of them are ready, because you have to be able to maneuver quickly. All right, so I'll keep you updated. Thanks for watching EducateTube.com.